you got a little vision that you want to see through, the Intentional Podcast is the one for you.
Does it complicate or complement my lifestyle? That is a key question I had to ask myself to get ahead in life. And one of the most revolutionary things that brought in my success. Making this decision, whether it complements or complicates your life, will differentiate between whether it's important to stay in your life or not. This can go on from friendships to the religion you follow. It's a very, very broad spectrum, but in my book, Clues to Love, I talk about each section in more depth and how I reevaluated what was serving me and then I had to lose what didn't. When we talk about complementing your life, this doesn't mean that it's going to be a smooth sailing journey because no journey in life is supposed to be smooth. The road humps are there for a reason. Sometimes you need to slow down. Sometimes you just need to brake. And it's okay. But the journey, in the end of it, if it's sweet, then well done. It's complementing your life. Things can always change, but you must trust your inner voice like my previous episode says. Because that truly is your internal compass and it will get you to your sweet destination. When we talk about complicating your life, this comes down to how does your nervous system feel? Do you feel safe enough to, say, for example, stay in the relationship? Do you feel like you're being poured into just as much as you're giving out? And with relationships, this is a very sticky situation because it's never just, okay, pour and the other person fills. You know what I mean? It's a give and take, but there should always be a sense of peace when it comes to the pouring. In a toxic situation, the giver will just give and the taker will just take. There is no limit. And then this not only will complicate your life, but it will complex your life as well. And we want to avoid that. We want to go where we feel safe. Feelings of apprehension are normal, but safety is a true feature of this amazing indication of whether you want to keep that thing in your life or not. If we go back to religion, in my life, I've had to kind of drop out of religion to pick and find the pieces back up that I liked about it and then build my own religion of what I wanted to follow in life. And contrary to popular belief, it's okay. Religion, as much as it's a community thing, it's an individual experience. And I'm going to say that again and again and again. I was tired of religion feeling like a chore, a burden. Religion should never feel like that. It was complicating my life. I felt uneasy every single time I stepped inside the Gurdwara because immediately I felt like I had this pressure to conform to the standards of what everyone else told me was the correct way to be a Sikh boy. But letting that go and losing to love and understanding that, you know what, like there are beautiful parts of religion that I still want to keep in my life because they gave me purpose. They complemented my life. They made me feel stronger in life. You must listen to that inner voice that tells you, no, this is healthy. Like, or even if it's a simple feeling, this feels good. Because you learn what's healthy and not in retrospect. You see that clearly in retrospect, but you know what feels good in the moment. Because that's honesty. Like you're living your truth. When you feel something, you feel it authentically in person. I remember having a talking stage just one day before I turned 23 with a person. And he was nice, respectful. But I was like, damn, I'm getting older now. Like, I'm going to be 23 tomorrow. And it's like, do I want to take you into the next chapter of my life? Are you complementing it to the extent that I need? Like, are you doing anything more for me than I can already do for myself? And the answer was clearly no. Like, it was nice having company to someone to talk to, but were you offering me something that I didn't already have? Because I was self sufficient. You weren't giving me anything greater than what I'd had before. So why did I need to keep you in my life? Sometimes being single is a better option because you're giving the universe time to manufacture your blessing as well. Stop trying to rush and take anything and everything that is at your disposal. You must learn to enjoy the waiting period because the waiting period is not only bettering yourself, it's bettering your blessing. Okay, new era, come through. But yeah, it also ties in with the scarcity mindset. When you believe like this is your only option, you limit your blessing. Have standards, but let your expectations run wild. Moving on to friendships. Again, in the book, I talk about how for the longest time I had my best friend who I literally grew up with from a teenager and became a man with. As we got older, we changed, and it's standard that people change as they get older. But the way we were changing, it wasn't complementing my life anymore. It was making it feel like dead weight I was holding almost, because it's like I'm trying to go up and you're still comfortable at the bottom, and those relationships are so unhealthy to be a part of. In life, you must have the mindset where when one love exits, the other will enter. And it might not be the right love straight away, but as long as you have hope in your heart that the right love will come, it will. Once I let him go, my nervous system, it felt like it came back alive. I felt like free in my spirit. I felt like my spirit was caged as well while I was with him towards the end. And crazily, soon after, I got closer to another person because I let that space be renovated. And not only did it complement my life, I truly feel when this friend entered my life, they brought a torch with them that just lit up and reminded me why I loved friendship so much. Friendships are one of the biggest relationships in your life that you need to ask this question to, because relationships are constantly evolving. So ask yourself, don't be afraid of knowing the answer that sometimes it's just run its course. It's okay to move on because we need to keep evolving, and evolving means choosing sometimes the uncomfortable path as well. But as long as that feeling in your heart is good about it, there's no way you can lose because you're acting from a place of sincerity. And no one can lose from acting from sincerity. If a bad situation occurs because you are honest, that's just the way it was supposed to be. Keep moving on. You acted from a pure heart, not a mean heart. So I want you to ask yourself this question now. Does the work you do in life complement your life or complicate it? Is it bringing you joy? Is it making you feel fulfilled? You must choose yourself in this life because everyone else is going to as well. So why not you? I hope you've learned something. I hope you've been inspired in this episode. Greater things are always to come. This is definitely a new era for my life. Get my book on Amazon now, Lose to Love, exclusively on Amazon, talking all things love, loss, and healing. I love this book, guys. I'm telling you, it's revolutionary in changing the way you think. A 20s guide to navigating your queer and South Asian identity, but also just navigating the loss of love and the reintroduction of it as well. So if you're interested, get a copy now on Amazon. gmail.com. Until next time, I love you and leave you here. Love you and lose you here, actually. Period. See you.
If you got a little vision that you want to see through, the Intentional Podcast, the one for you.